inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, ladies, for returning to another episode of As the World Turns. I'm so silly. Come on, ladies. How many of you all used to watch the soap operas? I believe soap operas were the best TV shows at having cliffhangers because they're still around, right? And your grandma's still watching them. Okay, so corny much. But seriously, for those of you that have been following me, you know that we were coming back with this episode because it's the cliffhanger for the episode before that called Don't Lie on a Call. If you're new to the podcast, then you need to go back so that you can hear the drama that's going to lead into this call. And it might give you some more clarity, but I think I'll be pretty thorough for you to get clarity. But come on now. Who doesn't want the whole story? Who doesn't want all of the juicy details about what's going on? So I'm just picking up from where we left off. So if you're a little lost, maybe you should stop and you should go back at episode. But anywho, so I was talking about how I had this really insane, and I mean insane in a bad way, not in like crazy good. I had this insane connection call with somebody who just railroaded me and started making me an offer and then spent like 80% of the call talking about what she does, the services that she provides. And it was like, hey, yeah, bam, here's my offer, $5,000, take it. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to be writing another book until about this time. Maybe we can talk in July. And I honestly don't really have any intentions of using her services. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you guys get people that lie to you just like I did. And I want to talk to you about why people lie to you. And some of you may be like, dang it, August, just when I thought that I could trust you, I found out that you're not perfect. Okay, that probably wasn't funny. Nobody's perfect. But seriously, real talk. What people are not going to do, they're not going to say, you know what? I'm on this sales call with you and I am overwhelmed by everything that you're giving me. So I'm so confused. I don't want to buy anything from you. They might be like, because nobody wants to look stupid. They don't want to seem like they don't understand. And so when people think, they don't buy. The other thing is most people aren't going to critique you to death and be like, well, I just wanted to tell you when you were doing your call, you just really, really threw me off because you did all of these things wrong. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, sometimes people do that, but they're kind of shitty. But real talk, most people don't. They're just like, you're sitting on the other end of the call like, oh God, how do I get off of this? Do I need to like say, oh, I'm so sorry. There's an emergency. My kid just bumped their head. I know you don't hear them screaming. They're doing the cry where, you know, their mouth is open. They haven't yelled yet. I gotta go, click, you know, trying to figure out how in the heck do I get off of this call and can it just be over? It's like sitting on an MLM call and you're like, or in an MLM meeting and you're like, when does this presentation over? And please don't let them make me a freaking offer because I'm not buying anything. You guys know what I'm talking about. So don't you dare judge me. Because the reality is this: if I would have said to that woman these things, she would have been like, excuse me? She would have gotten defensive. So you mean to tell me that you don't get the gist of what I'm doing? I mean, excuse me, sweetie, you have written X amount of books. And as I can see, none of them are bestsellers. You're not going to get rich in your business like that. And if you really want to maximize what you're able to do, I make millionaires. I make people multiple six-figure earners, and bam. And then the insults and the disses would have came out. And I dare you all to challenge me and say that that's not what would have happened. Even if she didn't directly diss me that hard, she would have jumped on the defensive. We know that we don't feel like arguing with people. And if they don't argue with us, then the secondary option is then if I say something else, she's going to want to ask a million more questions and be like, well, this is why you should do it. We don't want to be convinced. We don't want to be haggled. We don't want to be talked to death. So we usually say, I'm going to get back with you. When people aren't on the sales call saying, girl, I got to do this. I got to move. I need to be working with you. And oh my God, I get paid on the 8th and I'm going to be signing up on that day. I promise you, when a person isn't like super duper excited, you don't feel their energy and you're like, okay, so you want to consider this, right? You want to talk that over with your spouse. Okay. You say you need to look over your budget, whatever the excuse is, or you know what, this sounds really good. I'm not sure about the timing. Well, I was looking at you and someone else and I'm going to go and check out, them. When you get all of those kind of responses, the person really should say, I'm sorry, I don't want to work with you. And there have been occasions when I've done that, but the energy that was in the room on that call and the way that it was handled, and plus I just felt like so crappy with the way that she bait and switched me that I was like, nah, I'm just going to be like, we can talk later. And I know that once July comes back around or August or whatever, by the time she gets ready to call me, I'll be on something else. But if you knew me and if you knew my dream, my vision, my passion, the direction of my vision, what my priorities were, then you would have been able to infuse yourself in that vision, or you would have been able to say, you know what? I love the direction you're going. I think what you're doing is great. In the future, should you want to do this, I'm your girl because this is a good time to do blank, blank, blank. And, give me something else to go on. But to just kind of make it really like, okay, let me make sure I pull out my calendar. I spoke to August today. Let me make sure that I, speak to her again on this day, put a little mark, reach her back out. A lot of you guys, you're failing. You're failing at sales. The fortune's in the follow-up. You keep saying stupid stuff like that. I'm saying it's stupid stuff because that's what you think. You think it's stupid stuff. You'll say it to give yourself hope. You'll say it when you're in the midst of other people and you're trying to be, accountable and say the right kind of words. You look at the things and you get inspired when you find out it takes, 7 to 12 touches to get someone to buy, but you don't really want to do it. You really do not want to do it. And if you just have somebody's name and their number and you have that on a checklist, but you can't get back to them and say anything that is more powerfully connected to their vision and their dream, then yes, a follow-up is a formality. And that is the reason why most of you will only do it one time, maybe 2 times tops. Most people don't follow up, period. Because most of you just leave it as, you know what, get back with me and let me know when you're ready, which is like the worst line ever. But, I'm not one of those people. Because if I feel like that, why don't I want to get back with you? Why aren't you saying that you want to get back with me at this time? I will look at somebody and because I'm empowered. I walk into every call empowered to know that I have the right to choose. And I do tell people, if I decide to work with them, I say, listen, I hear you. I see your vision and this is how I align with it and why I believe in it. This is why I know that I can coach you because I can see you doing X, Y, and Z. I infuse myself into what they're doing. And if I can't, then I send them to someone else who I believe can help them. It's literally just that simple. So your offer, it isn't a no-brainer. The way you present it may cause somebody to lie to you. And so if you don't know how to connect in the first place, and if you don't ask the hard questions to find out where people really stand, you'll waste a lot of time following up with people who are never going to work with you in the first place, who will unfollow you but still be your friend, or who will block you, who will never open up Messenger again when they see it, who've possibly even blocked you from sending them a message. They'll delete the conversation, so on and so forth. You guys, don't put people in a position where they lie and tell you they're going to get back with you. Set it up. Set it up. This is really all of these three end up going back to setting up the follow-up. So there it is. There it is. Come on, you guys. I know I got you reflecting on what you are doing on your sales calls. I need you to not just know how to close. I need you to become a master closer. Go to augustcrenshaw.com/slay sales. Find out about the mastermind. If you are a boss, if you get stellar results, you know your ideal client, you have leads, you have an offer that's at least 2K and above, and you're ready to learn how to slay sales, then go there, check it out, fill out an application. Let's talk. Let's move forward. Let's go from there. All right, ladies, I love you. Thank you always for tuning in. I just want to say that you all are such a fabulous audience, and I enjoy being here with you, and all of the ladies that have been guest speakers. You light up my life. I live for the day that I do these episodes, and I hope that your brain is just on overload with all of the goodies that I've been given. So you guys have a fabulous day. I love you. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.